Hello, my beautiful friends. It's Amanda here, and today we're doing another episode of Catching Up with ColourPop. Of course, as usual, we have a lot to catch up with. From Fourth Ray, we have some new Serum sticks. They have re-released a bunch of Jelly Mud shadows and also added some new shades. Plus, we have the whole spring collection. It's called Once and Flor-al. Get it? Once and Flor-al. Flor-al. You got it. I didn't have to explain it to you. All of these things are currently available right now. You can find pretty much everything on the ColourPop site. Some of these things are also available at Target. And there are also a few of these things available at Ulta as well. I did notice when I was going through just doing a little last minute research for this video that some of the serum sticks are sold out on the ColourPop site, but those are in stock at Ulta. So if the one you're looking for isn't available at the ColourPop site, you can always look on Ulta. I'm going to link everything that I can find down in the description box for you. If you purchase anything from the ColourPop site, you can always use my affiliate code. It's just my first name, Amanda. That will save you 10%. I do earn a small commission from that. It doesn't cost you anything more. So I kind of just feel like we're all winners, but I appreciate everybody who chooses to support the channel in that way. And we have a lot to go through here because we have a bunch of different products. I'm going to show you close-ups. I'm going to give you all the prices. I'm going to give you all the swatches. We have some comparisons. And there are a bunch of re-promoted shades across these releases. So I really want to make sure that I point those out to you just in case you already have them. Whew, okay, it's a lot. Let's start with the Fourth Ray release. These are the serum sticks. We have 4 different serum sticks. These are priced at $14 each, or you can pick up the set of all 4 for $48. This is an extension of a bunch of their existing skincare lines. So I would say just depending on what your skin concerns are is how you should select which one or ones of these you want to use. They do have a lot of specific instructions. I would definitely pay attention to that. Some of these do have some pretty specific needs. For example, this one has retinol in it, and you really need to make sure that you're using sunscreen if you're using a retinol. So just, make sure you pay attention to the instructions, the ingredients. Personally, I've only used the Do-Over serum stick. This is the hydrating one. I use a lot of products from this specific line. It has a lot of hyaluronic acid in it. I have really dry skin, so this is what works best for my concern. So I like it so far. Nothing too crazy, but that's the only one I've used. Now, let's talk about the Jelly Mud shadows. I love these. I feel like people either love them or hate them. I have long loved these, and I'm so happy to see some new shades. Definitely happy to see some of my old favorites also coming back. And I just want to remind you that the screw top lid here has a little stopper inside. Keep that stopper, keep it on there. It helps lock in the moisture in these very gel-like eyeshadows. These are pretty quick to dry out. And look, the very first ingredient is water. Ingredients are listed basically in order of how much of each one there is. So that means these are mostly water, and so many people complain that these dry out. They do dry out. They have a bunch of water in them. The water evaporates even with the little stopper. And, it's annoying. It sucks, but it's super easy to fix these. Sometimes I use oil because it doesn't evaporate like the water does, but you can literally just put some drops of water in it. You don't even have to mix it up. Just pour in some water like you just saw me put a couple little drops. I'm putting some extra in here so I can get them nice and creamy. That's it. Dip your finger in. It's completely back to life. No, there's nothing special you need to do. Just pour some water in there. It's just that the water evaporated. Easy peasy. Super easy fix. So If that has turned you off from these, I definitely understand that, but this is an easy fix. Now I'm going to show you some swatches. I don't have all of the shades that they have either re-released or released new shades, but I do have a decent portion of them. So the shades Super Cool and Shiny Penny here are new shades. The rest are re-promoted, old favorites. Big Ego is one of my personal favorites. Then in this next round of swatches, we have my two absolute standouts, Duckling and Stargaze. These are both new shades. I absolutely love these. These are by far my top picks from the new shades that they just dropped. In general, I'm a huge Jelly Much fan, so I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. But for me, Duckling and Stargaze are probably the single items I am most excited about from this entire video. But still keep watching though, because now we have the spring collection, the Once in Flor-al collection. This is a pretty big one, so we have a lot to go through. Starting with the Glitterly Obsessed glitter gels. These are $10 a piece. They also have the little stopper inside that keeps it from drying out. So once again, if you get your hands on any of these, just make sure that you keep that so that you can keep this little jelly texture that it really needs to be functional. I'm not a huge fan of these. These are not meant to be worn on the eyes. I just want to reiterate that. You can put these in your hair, you can wear them on your body. Some people, say they put them on their face if you're going to like a rave or a party or a costume, or even if you're just living your life, if you just want to wear glitter on your face to go see your accountant, I think that's cool too. But the main takeaway here is these are big old chonky chunks of glitter, and please don't put them on your eyeballs. That's the warning, and that is my preference for you because I love your eyeballs. Now we have some lip glosses. 4 So Glassy lip glosses. I'm a big fan of this formula in particular. We have 2 re-promoted shades, 2 new shades, and one of the re-promotes is one of my personal favorites, so it'll be easy for me to pick a favorite. So the first 2 shades that you're going to see swatched, Solana and Newport, those have been previously released. So if you have purchased any of these before, make sure you double check your collection before you go and run to order more of these. Although, you know what? No judgment, because this is a type of product that I use up really quickly. Newport is one of my top favorite lip colors of 2022, so happy to see that one. Then we have Spring Fever and Poppy as our new shades. These are very spring-tastic, a little cute pinky color, a little cute corally color. I like all of these. I think they work well in this collection, and I really like this formula, so no complaints from me. I think this is a good choice for the spring release. Next up, we have some blush sticks. Another product that I really like and have enjoyed for many years and definitely recommend to pretty much anybody, especially if you like cream blush. I will caution you, all of these shades are re-promoted shades. So they have this cute little special packaging, but none of these are new shades. The Picnic Time shade originally came out with the Limoncello collection, and I think they all have been permanently available for a while now. So this is another one that you need to double check and make sure you don't already have. And hey, you can get a replacement if need be. I don't love the shades that they chose. I like these shades, but I don't think there's enough variety. I wish that they had done like a really bubblegum pink or a lilac color, like a soft little cream blush version of Night Bloom. Do you remember that Night Bloom blush? I'll put a picture up just to remind you. I would have liked to see just a little bit more variety. These are all pretty like mid-tone coral colors, so nice, but don't need 3. Now we have 3 BFF Creme Gel Liners. You can buy these individually for $7 US hairs, or you can get the set of 3 for $18. Pretty good deal there. We do have some re-promoted shades as well in this set. So the kind of corally burnt orange color called Get Lucid, was available in one of their little holiday vaults. And then the shade Overboard has been around for a really long time. I believe Plum Smash is a new shade. I could be wrong about that. I just cannot remember all of their millions of billions of jillions of products. But I'm pretty sure Plum Smash is new, and I know for a fact the other two are re-promotes. So again, check your stash. Now, Super Shock Shadows. Pretty sure all 4 of these are new shades. At least they have new shade names. Certainly they've released many a soft little pinky gold silvery moment like these before. I like the special packaging on here. I like this packaging in general on the actual products, as well as the outer boxes are really pretty, and I think it's very spring. I know that florals for spring is not groundbreaking, but I'm not really looking for broken ground all the time. Sometimes I just want a little flowery spring collection, and that's what I'm getting here. We have 4, I think, new Super Shock Shadows. At least the shade names were not familiar to me, and my quick little search around the internet did not pull up any past colors with the same name, so I'm just calling them new shades. All of these are labeled as Ultra Glitters on the sticker on the back, except for the shade Wannabe, which is labeled as an Ultra Metallic. They don't have any sort of discernible meaning as far as I could tell, because I think Not Too Much and Wannabe look both glittery. So I don't know why You're the Prize isn't the metallic one. I don't know. I'm just telling you what the sticker says. It doesn't make sense to me either. Let's move on to the 9-pan palettes. There are 3 different colorways in this little spring collection. These are priced at $14 US a piece. They do have the little clear front, the plastic palette with the clear front. This is not my preferred packaging. I much prefer the cardboard packaging. I have mentioned previously, I think that this is specifically for the palettes that are going to be marketed in Target stores, because customers will be picking these up off the shelf and likely won't have access to a tester. So I think that's why these are packaged this way. I don't love it. I don't love that for any of us, but I'm guessing that's the reason. This is the Forever Floral palette. I think it's the least exciting of the 3. It definitely just feels like the one that's been the most done and overdone color story wise. I am showing you both finger and brush swatches here. We're just going to do 2 palette comparisons each because there were so many pieces to go over in this video. I could have easily pulled like 10 more palettes that would be similar enough to swatch against the Forever Floral palette, but these were the first 2 that popped into my mind, and I believe that I did a comparison with this one and one of the new 9 pans for Target in that video, so go check that out if you want to see another Forever Floral palette comparison. Blush Crush at the end there leans a little bit more of like that mauve-y purple on the very end, and then By the Rosé is maybe a little bit more brownish. They're all pretty much giving the same sort of vibes, though. I think you could definitely do really similar eye looks with Blush Crush or By the Rosé, or, like I said, probably a bunch of other palettes. I think Sweet Talk would be a good one to compare. I bet a lot of the mega palettes. Let's go to In a Daze. I think that the purple and green ones are more interesting. They're just bringing more to the table color story wise. I do think that the peachy, little warm, neutral, peachy type of palette is really popular. I think a lot of people are comfortable with those colors. So, I'm not mad at them for continuing to create that color story because I think customers continue to buy it. But I do find this one to be more interesting, and I like the green one the best of all, just because performance-wise, I do feel like this In a Daze palette is lacking. It's probably the least impressive formula-wise of these 3 palettes. And sometimes pastel colors are just softer, and that's okay. I mean, I bet this still looks really pretty on the eye. It's just not really what I'm personally looking for out of a palette as a customer or as a reviewer. Now, I thought that I would struggle to find good palettes to compare this to, but in a daze, in a trance, am I caught in a time loop? Because these color stories are very similar. Obviously, In a Trance doesn't have the deeper shades, but even the name of the palette is giving me flashbacks. So I guess if you like one, you'll like the other. We also have a more recently released palette. This is the Sweet Vibes. It was from one of the holiday vaults, so I don't think this one ever became available individually. Could be wrong about that, but again, very similar color story. Little purple blue mix up here. Sweet Vibes does go a little bit deeper on some of those shades, but in general, definitely giving us the same type of color story. They might work well together, but I think Sweet Vibes performs better. Lastly, we have the Super Bloom palette. This is the green palette that I was referencing before. This is my favorite of these three. I think it has the most interesting colors and the best performance formula-wise. So obviously, I had to paint my nails to match one of the shades in here because it was my favorite palette, and that is just how I am as a person. I do think that this could do with a little bit more variety. I think some of the shimmery greens are a little bit too close, but you know, in general, it has a pretty decent range. There's some light, medium, deep. There's that really bright, bold green matte shade in more towards the center there that is really high performing. I was very, very impressed by that. I like that they mixed in some cool toned, grungier mattes there towards the end of the palette. I think this is cute. This is definitely one of my top picks from this video. However, if you were having flashbacks to the Meant to Be palette, this is why they are so similar. The only thing is Meant to Be doesn't have that super dark matte shade at the end, which I do think Super Bloom is slightly better color story with that dark, but Meant to Be has a better formula. They're pretty close though. I mean, look at them. They're pretty close. There's not much arguing that point. We also have the New Money palette. This was from the same holiday vault as the Sweet Vibes palette that we looked at a little bit earlier. This is not quite as on the nose, but again, you could probably get some pretty similar looks here. And New Money has more variety undertone-wise. It has some warmer greens mixed in with those cooler greens. So that's kind of a fun twist, but I prefer Super Bloom out of those two. I think the smash hits for me are Duckling and Stargaze Jelly Much Shadows. I could be convinced to pick up the other new Jelly Much shades as well, just because I really, really like the Jelly Much formula. I think it's underrated, and you know, I know why. I think people get frustrated because they dry out and they can be difficult to work with. I understand all of that. I have a video all about the Jelly Much shadows if you want to hear about how I rehydrate them with oil instead, or the different ways that I apply them. If you're feeling frustrated, I'll link that down in the description box so you can go check out that video. I also like the Super Bloom palette the best out of the spring collection. I think that the Super Shocks are cute. I don't think they are my favorite shades they've ever done. And you know, I actually really like the Plum Smash, the purple eyeliner. You'll see me use that in a Get Ready With Me very soon because it pairs really well with my collaboration palette with Odin's Eye. So keep an eye out for that. But my top picks are Super Bloom and those Jelly Much shadows. I would love to hear what you think about these new products. Have you picked anything up? Have you had a completely different experience than me? I always love to hear what you think about things too, even if we disagree. I think it's good to have a healthy, respectful discourse about these things because different things work differently for different people. So make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Oh yeah, look at those matching nails. I love your face. Okay, see you soon. Bye!